What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Pick and Roll live streams for NBA betting and discussions. The NBA playoffs are in full swing, and we're coming hot with Pick and Roll live streams every weekday morning. So to stay up to date with our content, please make sure you followed us in whatever podcast form you may be listening on. And also, please make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel as well. Drop a like and rate and review 5 stars as well if you find yourself enjoying along the way. Gonna mix up the agenda for today's show here. We usually start with the recap of the previous day's bets. We still will do that, but we want to make sure we get these plays in before any sort of movement can hamper what we want to do. So let's go right into it here and talk about the 2 official plays for today. All right, starting off, we are going to the New York Knicks with the second pick here. Jalen Brunson over 24.5 points. You can get that for minus 115 odds at BetMGM. Jalen Brunson over 24.5 points. And the second play here is in the Clippers and the Suns game. This is actually the first official pick. We just went in opposite order, but it's Kawhi Leonard, 25 plus points, and the Los Angeles Clippers on their alternate spread of 15.5. You can get that for minus 120 at DraftKings. That Kawhi line, by the way, is the alternate line. So make sure you scroll down to the second section of the player props for those points. If you go to this normal line, it's 25.5. You scroll down a bit further, you see the milestone lines of 25.5. All right. What should we do? Let's save the explanation for these. We'll keep this up here for anybody joining in for those picks. Let's go quickly to the recap of yesterday's bet, just so we can get this one out of the way. So after yesterday's half unit loss, we are down to 15.4 units on the season of profit. That includes the regular season, of course. 5.7% ROI, 132 to 102 records. So unfortunate with the big SGP that doesn't really have any legs yesterday. But Pips, you want to make your comments on that Warriors and Kings game? Anything that you saw from that overall that you wanted to discuss?
I mean, we had Draymond Green ejection.
Yes.
That's the first part. The second part, Sabonis somehow didn't get the rebounds, which is kind of weird. They were widely spread. So Monk had 6, Fox had 5, Barnes had 6, Huerter had 5. So it was widely spread. So kind of wasn't even close. We needed 2 more. We needed 2 more for Green, and the game total was both teams shot poorly from the 3-point line. And the interesting part of this bet is Kings shot 23% from the 3-point line. They missed 8 free throws, and they won pretty comfortable. That's that's kind of
weird series. I didn't catch the whole thing, but yeah, it's been the Kings, man. They're here to play.
Warriors are in trouble because they can't score enough on the offense. And I would say in this series, I think Warriors have worse defense than the Kings, which is kind of absurd because the Kings, even in the regular season, had one of the worst defensive teams in the league. But Klay Thompson and Jordan Poole can't stay in front of no one.
Oh, Jordan Poole has looked so bad in this series.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Yeah, Jordan Poole looked terrible, but I think Klay Thompson is the second worst defensive player in this series, probably, because he just, I mean, we can't say much about it because throughout her career before the injuries, he was one of the best two-way players in the league for like a decade. And now after these injuries, he just doesn't have the motor. He can't stay. He can guard Barnes 1-on-1. He can stay in front of Harrison Barnes. And then when Fox or Malik Monk are there, just not being able to guard anyone, you can't play Draymond Green and Kevin Looney. So you need to. So Draymond Green is not in his role. He's usually the best as the forward, as the help defender, as the like anchor guy. Going around free roaming. When he's playing the 5, he needs to guard Sabonis. Just the Warriors need to figure out something, but this doesn't look even close to them being able to win this series.
Remember, though, it is the Warriors on the road. So their defense, as bad as it's looked, it has been. I think it just finally everybody is kind of getting exposed to the fact that the Warriors on the road cannot play defense. And this has been their problem all season. And
Uh,
the reality is they have to win a road game to win this series.
I never. I mean, yeah, the defense is worse on the road, but that's not the issue. The issue is turnovers and are
Yeah,
being
yeah.
out rebounded, and that
The
was the
turnovers
case
were
in
a
the first
problem.
game. Second game, 20 turnovers.
Yeah.
In like that's when you lose 10 possessions with rebounds and turnovers. That happens. That team that shoots 23% from the three wins. So yeah, but this is great showing from Sabonis last night. I mean, he scored 24 points. That's huge for them. If he was scoring with such ease in the first game, we will see Kings win by 20.
Yeah.
So if he can maintain this scoring and then add Fox, Monk, Barnes, Huerter, like I don't think we see more games where Huerter is shooting 2 from 9 for the three. Like that's and Keegan Murray. He played 16 minutes and scored 2 points and shot one time.
Yeah.
Like this, I had some debate on Twitter with someone about who can improve. Like someone said, I know Golden State Warriors can play better, but I don't know if Kings can play better. But I think Kings can
That's
play way better. I think Kings can play way better. Or we know Warriors can play better, especially at home. But I'm certain that Kings can play better as well.
Yeah, they had some turnover issues as well in the
Yeah.
first. I mean, I didn't watch the whole game, so I don't know the whole story. But it started the game, it was very frantic. Neither team really got a foothold of the game. But I as much as 2-0 is quite the whole, the way the Kings are looking, we know how good the Warriors can be. Like a series doesn't really start until an away team wins a game. So Warriors just have to take care of business at home, and the series is tied up at 2. So as much as I think like I think the Kings are horribly priced for this series and horribly priced in general. I think that this series still has Warriors can still get themselves back in this series. But let's save some more discussion for a little bit later. Let's go into the explanation on those picks that we had for today. You can see them on the bottom of the screen now. Anybody just coming in here, we'll put them back up here just to make sure everybody is on board with what we got here. So first of all, Kawhi Leonard, 25 plus points, and Clippers 15.5 on the alt spread, minus 120 at DraftKings. It's a same game parlay. Second one, straight player prop, Jalen Brunson over 24.5 points in the Knicks game against the Cavaliers, minus 115 odds at MGM. There's a lot of places you can get that. Or actually, at least a couple. If you have 365, that is also available there. Anybody who has differing sports books. But let's start with the Clippers play. And why don't you take us through what you like about Kawhi in this matchup? And I think you said a lot about the Clippers, but maybe a little bit further for this one.
Yeah, I just said the Clippers should. This should be another close game. I don't understand the way the first game go went. I expected for the second game to spread to be like 5.5. Then we see even higher than the first game, which is kind of ridiculous. I don't know what's the thing here, and I explained it so many times. I don't even want to go deeper into it. But yeah, huge volume on that line. And the second part is Kawhi Leonard 25 more points. Like he had so easy. He had it so easy in the first game. They just let him get whatever he wants. Like single coverage. That's it. You can defend. There is no one on the roster of the Suns that can defend Kawhi Leonard in single coverage. And they are defending single coverage entire season. They did it against Luka Doncic. They did it against every big players. Giannis against everyone. Single coverage. So
Yeah.
I expect another single coverage against Kawhi Leonard, and they will just like get their hands together and pray for him to miss. And yeah, that was their defense in the first game. He ended up scoring 38 points, shot 24 field goals, and 10 free throws. If we can get Kawhi Leonard to shoot 24 field goal attempts and get 10 free throws, that's usually 35 to 40 points.
Yeah.
He ended up with 67 through shooting, and people will say, "Yeah, that's kind of very variance going into his efficiency." Kawhi Leonard, since over the last 3 years, over the championship year with the Raptors, is scoring 29 points on average with 62% shooting in the playoffs.
Mhm.
And 90% of these games he was double teamed. And now he's getting single coverage against the team with no real defender to defend him. I'll take this like every day. If I can bet this bet every day, I'll bet it every day. If we lose 5 times in a row, I'll bet 6 times. Like this is one of the best bets we had. So I'm pretty confident in this bet. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I love both legs here. I think this series is kind of mispriced here. I'm upset with myself because this one was 8.5 on the spread this morning. I think it still is 8.5. I think that's pretty horribly wrong. I thought I went to 7.5 briefly, but I guess maybe not. Yeah, for a series, I think that's going to be this close. That amount of difference is a little bit crazy. The fact we're at 15.5, like I know like alt lines always look like no way they lose by this much. We said that about the Bulls and that alt one against the Heat.
Yeah,
But
that was kind
but
of
like
very
yeah,
weird. But I
but
think the
I'm like
correlation.
the Suns beating the Clippers by 16 points. I don't want to look like an idiot tomorrow saying, "Wow, well, I guess it happened," but I absolutely cannot see the Suns
Yeah.
blowing out the Clippers here.
And also, if this game is under 15 points, that means it's a not there is no blowout. So that means Kawhi Leonard is playing 40 minutes, and Kawhi Leonard playing 40. It's very well correlated. Like this is
Yeah, very
like
well, very well.
yeah. If Kawhi has huge game, no chance they lose by 15 or more.
Yeah,
And the thing is, if they lose by 15 or more, that's probably a blowout, and Kawhi will
he
have
doesn't play.
also doesn't play. So I think this is very
It's
well
either both
correlated.
win or both lose for this one.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
this
yeah.
SGP.
But that's why I like it because I think both win
Yeah, so there's
easily.
a lot of confidence here. Rypro's asking if you want this 2 units. I'll leave it open ended.
I don't want it 2 units, but we can put 1.5. And I just hate that we have such a poor run with 1.5 units, but we can do it. Yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
that's
you wanna change this to 1.5?
yeah, we
All
can do it.
right, all right.
I
I'll update.
like when I spoke, I was like, yeah, why I'm not have 1.5 unit on this because I think this is one of the best bets we had entire season. So
Yeah, you're right though. I don't know the exact record. I don't think we had a good record with your
I
one
think
and a
it's like
half unit.
1.5, one and 5. I think on
Wow.
yeah.
So strange, but yeah, I mean that's the official play. We'll lock it in as a 1.5 unit play for the purposes of the tracking on the show. But obviously at your discretion, you don't have to robotically follow anything here. If you want to stick to 1 unit for your exposure, that's completely fine as well. But let's go to the second play here. Jalen Brunson over 24.5 points, which is minus 115 at MGM. I also saw it at 365. If you shop around as well, you can find some other spots here. Always important to make sure that you're line shopping for the best possible prices. And when I'm checking for the best prices, it's super easy to do that with the BetStamp app here. Let me just give you an example here, specifically for this Jalen Brunson play. So if I wanted to find where I could get the best price on a Jalen Brunson bet, I could open up BetStamp. I could go to the game that I want to bet on, go through the list of player props here. I find Jalen Brunson. I can go to the points. I have this set to New
I think it's
Jersey.
based on Bet365. Oh, it's moved. It was minus 105 at Bet365. That's 20 minutes ago, I think. Or 30.
So, anyways, now it's super easy. If you have access to any of these sports books here, so let's say you do have access to Betway, you can get this one for minus 110. Always get to shop around here. For us, just for the people watching the show, we have like a set books that we usually go to make it easy for everybody to tail. But since we can use BetStamp, if you're betting on your own tailing picks, you can always make sure you're finding the best possible price. And to sign up to all these sports books to make sure you're always getting the best price, you can use our special link in description, betstamp.app/the board to sign up. It's going to help you become a better sports bettor by line shopping. It's also going to give us a little bit of a kickback to support the show. All right. Why do you like Jalen Brunson here against the Cavaliers?
So I think most people saw the first game against the Clippers, against the Cavaliers. He didn't play almost any minutes in the first half. I think it was 9 minutes, and he had 3 fouls, and he ended up scoring 27 points in 29 minutes. So, and his true shooting was 52%, and he's 60% on the season. So he played 10 less minutes than he should. He shot 8% efficiency lower than he usually should, and he still covered this line. That's kind of absurd.
Mhm.
And yeah, I just think I think everyone saw, even that if he didn't watch the guitar game, you saw like last 3 minutes or 2 minutes. He was getting single coverage against Sedi Osman and Donovan Mitchell and Caris LeVert the entire game. But Jalen Brunson against the single coverage is like no one can stop him on this Cavaliers team in single coverage. Maybe if you put probably Mobley Evan on him, and he will be very bothered by his size. But Evan needs to guard Julius Randle, and we saw nothing from RJ Barrett. The Mitchell doesn't shoot. RJ Barrett very poor efficiency. He shouldn't shoot. Randle maybe the minutes still. Josh Hart, Grimes not shooting much. So it's very like, okay, we get the ball in Brunson's hands and he needs to do something. He shot 24 times, 24 field goal attempts in 29 minutes. Just absurd level of like 40% usage. And if you get 40 minutes from Brunson, which I expect 38 to 40 minutes tonight, on that you can't have Randle attacking Mobley. You can't have RJ Barrett high shooting game. Grimes will get only a couple of shots, so it's down to Brunson to have huge usage. And I believe in this kind of matchup against average or below average defenders, single coverage, he should be able to score a lot of points. And as I said, 27 in the last game. Now he gets 10 more minutes, and we expect higher efficiency. So 24 and a half seems like a missed line. And I actually love that Hart is improved to questionable. He was doubtful. Now he's questionable. He should probably play because he is the one that creates for others and doesn't shoot much. So that will also open up the scoring game for Brunson. And the only way Knicks can stay in this game and to win this game is with big Brunson games, the same we saw in the second half of the last game. And yeah, that's the bet. I also one of the I love a lot. In the probably these two bets today are the two I love the most since the playoffs started. So
All
I
right,
think we are.
that's great. Great to hear. Hopefully, we can get our playoff betting on track here after the yesterday half unit loss to start. But two really confident plays here. One of them a 1.5 unit play. We'll recap them once again at the end of the show. Two comments I want to get us started with for some conversation. First of all, because we're on the topic, we'll talk about the Cavs Knicks matchup tonight. See predictions, and also we'll talk about the Draymond Green ejection and possible suspension. So first of all, Rye Pro's asking, are we expecting the Cavs to even this series up? What do you think today, Pips? From our Eastern Conference preview last week, you're pretty high on the Cavaliers in this series, but down 1-0. What do you expect to see tonight?
I mean, if they just were able to rebound in the last game, they would have won. So we need them to rebound. You can. There's no way you win a playoff game against the team going as hard as the Knicks, being out rebounded by. They were out rebounded by 13 rebounds. So 51 to 38. That's huge. And I expect way more from Darius Garland. Darius Garland, I'll just say this is absurd. The thing I'll just say, Darius Garland played entire 12 minutes of the last quarter, zero field goal attempts, zero free throw attempts, zero rebounds, zero assists, complete empty stats for the 12 minutes of the fourth quarter as the second scoring option. Like in very very close game, one possession game. That's just unexplained. I can't find words to explain that's just absurd.
That's ridiculous. Yeah.
But I will say I had one thing that I didn't do well, and I didn't encounter the bench of the Knicks being 3 times better than the bench of the Cavs. I think this series are pretty even with bench out. If you can't play Mitchell, Garland, Allen, and Mobley for 44 minutes, you will have problems. Like if you get 10 minutes of the bench guys, they will get destroyed, completely destroyed, and that's what happened in the game. That's what happened in the first game because we saw Dean Wade playing 7 minutes. He was minus 14 in those 7 minutes. That's just crazy. And we saw Caris LeVert 18 minutes, also minus 14. Rubio played only 5 minutes, minus 9.
Yeah.
That's just in very tight game. That's just crazy. And Hartenstein and Topin were plus 12 and plus 19. That just they
I'm such
have
a fan of Hardenstein, man.
yeah.
I'm
I'll
such a
say
fan.
like, yeah. Hart quickly Hartenstein Topin are probably topping quickly and Hart probably starting for the Cavs and being the sixth player, getting 30 minutes on that team because how Cavs have amazing four players. Mitchell, Garland, Allen, and Mobley are like play like contender like type of players. If they just needed, if they just had like fifth and sixth guy, this is probably the best team. Well,
Yeah.
they could compete with Boston Celtics and Bucks, and yeah, I just think that they're just not deep enough. Like you can't Caris LeVert experience playoff, man. That was so poor. Like
Yeah. I mean,
so,
how
I
many
don't
times
know.
you said
They need
this
to
season
figure
the
out.
fifth man, right?
Yeah, they need like Sadie Osman was their best bench guy. And I believe that will be the thing moving forward, all too. Like Sadie Osman is the guy that can provide much more than Caris LeVert has. Because you don't need him to have the ball. You have Garland and Mitchell. You're playing Garland and Mitchell 44 minutes, both. So why the hell you need Caris LeVert? Like you needed him when you lack some creation and stuff, but when you
Yeah.
have two dominant ball handlers all the time on the court and Caris LeVert can defend, can shoot, he offers nothing. So I think Sadie Osman playing 20 minutes could be expected moving forward. But
That's a great point. Yeah.
my next topic should be probably Bucks and Heat a bit. We spoke about it like only if we see Giannis going back can have it will go out, but I don't know how will defense go for the Bucks. I rewatched the game after the show because I watched the first half of the last game, but I rewatched the game. And I'll say drop coverage with Brook Lopez could be in huge trouble in this series. Now that Hero is out, maybe a bit less, but Butler was completely like Butler at the bio were just being able to get whatever they want. Spelstra, masterpiece for game one. Masterpiece. Like he ran so many good actions for Butler, like off the ball, attacking the open lanes, getting at Brook Lopez, attacking the isolation. Like so many good plays for the Miami, and with Mike being so stubborn and sticking. Maybe if Giannis is not back in the game too, we could see some problems for the
Yeah.
Bucks. And we had them like easily like top contender, best team in the league. I don't know if Giannis is came back playing hurt. I don't know.
Fair enough. I mean, I won't panic on the game one loss. I've seen the
Yeah,
Raptors in 2019 lost game one in the playoffs and went on to win the championship, won 4 straight games. So obviously they didn't have Kawhi Leonard injured as the Bucks have Giannis injured, but I still have confidence in the Bucks. Like
yeah.
the
Me
shooting
too.
from the
Yeah,
Heat was ridiculous in that
yeah.
game. Not
That's
saying that can't
not
continue, but
happening again.
not
Uh,
often. Yeah.
yeah, they made every mid range. They made every three. Bucks missed every three, and it was almost close game. So yeah, but that's I still think but I think Miami has the worst offense out of all playoff teams, and they scored 130 on
I
the
don't know. I
Bucks.
saw that Brooklyn offense yesterday. That might that might be the worst. 84 points in 2023. It felt like
Yeah,
I felt like I was transported to the early 2000s watching yesterday.
yeah, it's
Oh
close.
man.
It's close. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
hit in the nets. So.
Okay. Last thing, I want to talk about Draymond Green yesterday. I had Eric in here from earlier saying Draymond to the WWE 2024. Good look at plus 10,000. If anybody happened to miss it, I got a good screen photo here. Draymond stomped on Sabonis. To be honest, this photo doesn't do it justice. It was definitely a bit worse than this. It wasn't like he just stepped on him. It was meaningful, intentional, with attempt to hurt Sabonis. So the question, do you think Draymond will be suspended for that game 3? And with so many defensive problems, how big a deal and a factor do you think that will be? But yeah, first of all, do you think he should get suspended for this, Pips?
Yes, he should get 1 game suspension if they continue the way they were doing it the entire like this year, and if they continue with their policy in situation like this is 1 game suspension. Like if you take a look, every suspension that happened over the last 5-6 years, even if you go back to the Cleveland Cavaliers series when he had groin stuff and he got suspended. This is the same thing, like almost the same thing. Like intention is there, probably no one can doubt that he made it intentional. It's dangerous, so yeah, intentional plus dangerous is 1 game suspension. So yeah. And actually, when I spoke earlier about Golden State Warriors being in trouble, this wasn't counted into it, because imagine imagine Warriors going down 0-3.
Yeah, they'll lose the series. I mean, they'll have to win both road games. If they go on 3-0, they have to win 2 road games against this Kings team. Like it's just not happening.
If Draymond Green is out for the next game, we should probably have Kings to win the series for like minus 300 or 400. Yes. Minus 400 before the game. Like if Draymond Green is ruled out for the next game, I'll say like minus 500 is also realistic for the series.
Yeah. Interestingly, this is what I played this morning. I won't. It's not an official bet for you guys or anything, but I played the Kings to cover the game 3 spread. Here I have the line history from Circa. Hasn't moved off of Circa, but I've seen this at plus 7.5. Some places like Profit Exchange has it plus 7.5, plus 7 other places. I think
they didn't check this, but what is the number for Kings to win the series?
I'll pull that up right now as I'm talking here, just DraftKings to make it easy. But plus 7 here. I think this is the line under the assumption Draymond plays. If he plays, I still kind of like plus 7. If he doesn't play, this is an outstanding price on the spread. So I think that's something you guys should take a look at.
I do think if Draymond plays, Warriors win the game 3. But I'm not sure if they tie the series. Like in my head, I had them winning game 3, then losing game 4. And then it's over.
Then yes, it would definitely be over. Okay, let's see the playoff series right now. The Sacramento Kings are minus 160 to win this series. I don't love that number. Minus 160. Aaron in chat saying you can find around 165. I don't love that number. I don't like it on either side, really. I'd be interested in taking Golden State at a higher price just because, like, 2 games at home, they could even it up.
If Draymond Green is ruled out.
But yeah, Draymond Green is out. The way to attack this might be to play the game 3 spread. So, and I think he will be suspended. I hope the NBA doesn't just kind of cower under it's playoffs. They want Golden State to advance. I think that'll come into play. Like Golden State getting eliminated first round would be kind of a ratings disaster. But like this is a repeat offender. There was intent to injure. It was completely unnecessary. And I think the NBA should face up to that and give him the 1 game that.
And that's another season in the NBA where we see like the regular season record matters.
Yeah. Every year it matters. And every year people say, regular season matter. It's all about, April or whatever, or March for the end of the regular season. But this stuff matters. Playing together all year, like all these guys in the Kings played 70 plus games together. They did not rest any players all season. Even like the last few games when they wrapped up 3rd seed, they were all about the momentum and all about the team. I mean, look, we could be sitting here in a week and it's 2-2 in the series, but
one underrated part of this series is Mike Brown. like he knows
Oh
everything
yeah,
about the Golden State
and
Warriors,
yeah,
and
you're right. You're
he's
right.
exploiting it like easily. And I think that's probably the most underrated part of this series. Like he lived with them, he knows everything they run.
Yeah,
Like
he created their offense in a lot of
yeah.
ways.
So if he's we probably are all underlooked that point in this matchup.
And
Because if you look the game, he's doing exactly what he needs to do, like attacking Klay Thompson, attacking Jordan Poole to play them off the court, and then their offense is not good enough to make up for it. Like everything perfect match, perfect series for Mike Brown coaching so far. I don't know what's going on. The Care need to do some adjustment. We'll see if he's able to do it. But so far, great coaching for Mike Brown.
yeah. Anybody doesn't know, Mike Brown was an assistant for the Warriors for a number of years. He definitely has a ring with them. I mean, I think he has a bunch as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a great offensive-minded coach, as we're seeing in Sacramento. The only reason I didn't have any exposure on the Kings to win this series because I have them to win the conference. I didn't want to kind of double dip into there, but I'm currently sitting on plus 2,500 on the Kings to come out of the West, and that is looking interesting. They got a long way to go, but 2-0 in this series. And if Draymond's out, they have a great chance to go up 3-0 as well. All right, that will wrap up the show. So let's get you guys the recap of the picks for today. Looking to get on track, get us started with some playoff betting wins. And then the first play, we're going for 1.5 units now on the Clippers and the Suns game. We have Kawhi Leonard 25 plus points on the alternate line. And we have the the Clippers on the alternate spread of 15.5, which is minus 120 at DraftKings. Once again, that is a 1.5 unit play. And secondly, we have in the Knicks Cavs game, Jalen Brunson over 24.5 points. Shop around for this one, but we took it for minus 115 at BetMGM. All right, guys, that was your show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We have a lot of great content coming for the playoffs, so make sure you're following us on Twitter at TheBoardHQ so you get any updates for any changes, any videos, extra videos that we're going to be doing on the show. And also make sure to subscribe to the board on YouTube. Like this if you enjoyed. Rate and review 5 stars. If you have a minute, you've been enjoying the show. And myself and Pips, we're going to see you tomorrow for more NBA playoff betting. Thank you again for tuning in.